All right, guys, welcome back to another week of Nick's Picks. Week 15 has come and went. Two of us had somewhat good weeks. One of us had not great weeks. One of us got beat by Ryan. So technically, Bobby, you should have lost 5 points, but we did not agree to that.
Yeah, you guys didn't want to agree to it, and it would have screwed me over. So you guys should have agreed to it, honestly.
No, you're welcome, Bobby.
So
you're welcome. We wouldn't hear the end of it if we did.
The points after week 15, Mills still in the lead with 102. Bobby in second with 90, and then I'm rounding out the group with 85. So only 5 behind Bobby, which I remember
With
after
3 weeks to go.
when I had a 3 week, Bobby was like, "That's it, Nick's out, not coming back. Guess who's back?"
Well, you still got to make up 5 points.
Me. So.
Yeah, I know. He's still got to make up 5 points, but he made a 4 on you this past
Yeah,
week.
he did.
So.
That was a lot of points to make up.
All right, so now we got 4 days of football this weekend, just like last weekend. So we'll start with Thursday night football. Jaguars at Jets. Jets favored by 1.5.
Zach Wilson will be playing again.
Yeah,
He didn't have a terrible game last week.
I don't know if I like this,
will
though,
say
with
that.
the Jets being favored.
It's because it's in New York. It's a 1.5 point favorite. Like I've said this in past.
It's in New
picks.
Jersey. Calm down there, bud.
Okay, I've said this in past weeks about the Jaguars. They're a tough team to predict because they've been so inconsistent. Trevor Lawrence is stepping up. I think he's turning the corner from developmental quarterback to established quarterback, which is huge for them. But they're still incomplete as a team. So it's like, you're going up against a really good defense. The Jets' defense is still very good. Sauce Gardner had 0 targets, I believe, last week as DB, which just tells you, how locked down he can be. The question is really the offenses in this game. I don't think the Jets' offense is very good, and the Jaguars' defense isn't great, but they're facing a bad offense, and the Jaguars' offense is solid, but they're facing a very good defense. That said, I still think the Jaguars are going to pull this one off. I just think they're going to be able to do a little bit more offensively than the Jets will be able to. And then it's a 1.5 point. I mean, who do I think is going to win at that point? I'm going with the Jags. Money line, by the way. I forgot to add that money lining that one. Sliding that in there.
That's a great money line. I want to say Zach Wilson is smartening up. He answered the press conference. They asked him if the offense played enough to win, up to the defense. And he answered it correctly. He showed that he is not taking accountability for losing the game. But good for Zach Wilson, and he did play a good game. But I'm going with the Jaguars.
I'm also going with the Jags.
Bad.
Less information than Bobby. But I'm going with the Jags. All right, moving into.
I just thought that was cool that he answered that correctly.
Well, yeah,
good for him.
To be fair, he had an easier chance of if he didn't take accountability this week. He actually scored points.
Yeah.
When you only put up 3 points,
Yeah.
and you lose on a
And you lost your starting position and this was a huge reason why. I'd like to think he's smart. I was like, I need to not be a douche.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying, even if he came out and said the exact same thing as last time, it would have looked not as bad because
Yeah,
actually he had a touchdown.
And he threw for 317
They had
yards.
some production.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So,
All right, moving into Saturday, Giants at Vikings.
Christmas Eve football.
Yes. Vikings favored by 3.5. I'm going to be honest. I think it's difficult for the Vikings not to win after what they just did to the Colts.
The Vikings should be riding high on this one.
I don't see them going down 33-0. So I'm just
No,
going to pick the
I don't.
Vikings off the bat of that.
The Giants were moving the ball pretty well on Sunday night. I will say credit to them for that, especially given their injuries at wide receiver and whatnot. So if their offense is clicking, it makes it a little trickier. And the Vikings defense is okay, but they've played some bad football these past few weeks as well. That said, I still think the Vikings are legit, even though a lot of people don't. So 3.5, I'm going to take the Vikings on this one. I think they cover.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say they will cover that. But if the Giants play good football, it will be a good game.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game regardless. But all right, moving in to the next game, Saints at Browns. Browns are favored by 2.5. I've been riding high with the Saints defense over the past couple of weeks, and it bit me last week against the Falcons. I think Deshaun Watson's going to start clicking eventually, and I can see it happening this week. So I'm gonna pick the Browns.
Well, yeah, I'm taking the Browns as well. I just think their running game is very powerful. It really can set the tone for an offense. You got to think Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I don't like saying his name, but you got to think Deshaun Watson is going to kind of be getting back into NFL speed by this point, where they can do a little bit more, clicking a little bit better. The Browns defense, I still like it a lot, especially against the Saints team that doesn't have much going for it on offense. Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill are going to probably duo it again at quarterback. We'll see what happens, but I like the Browns' chances in this one. 2.5 is a small spread. Again, that's one of those, who do I think is going to win? I'm thinking the Browns are going to win this one. Saints have just been too inconsistent offensively for me to feel comfortable taking them, whereas the Browns haven't been very great offensively either, but I believe that all in all, they're a better roster. So I got to go with the Browns on this one as well.
I'm gonna go Saints on this one. They have a really good defense, and I don't think Cleveland has put up more than 20 points since Deshaun Watson has taken over. So
That's true.
just looking at that,
Tight legs.
Offensively,
yeah.
He's got tight legs.
Yeah, he needs a massage.
But I just
No.
think their defense is going to be the toughest test that he has yet, and I think they could pull this out.
I like that.
Fair
I would
enough.
like to see him lose. I'm not expecting them to lose, but I would root for them to lose. All right, moving in. Lions at Panthers. Lions favored by 2.5. We didn't cover it in this week's episode. We're going to cover it now. 7-7. They're putting themselves into the playoff race after starting 1-7.
1-6.
One
But
and
yeah,
six.
no, they're on a 7. They're on a 6-1 run.
6 wins in the last 7 games.
So it's nice because I believe we talked about it a little bit just on our own, but I was nervous, and we're Bears fans, so there's some rivalry there with an NFC North team. But like, I like Dan Campbell a lot. I've never disliked the Lions. Really, the only team I can't stand is the Packers. I like the Vikings. I don't have anything against the Lions. Now they could be a little annoying, but I got nothing against them. I like Dan Campbell a lot, and I was nervous that because they started 1-6, that boom, they were going to just can him if it continued to go in that way at the end of the year. So I'm happy to see Detroit seems to have found their coach, and it's also like Dan Campbell's just a likable guy.
Yeah.
You got to be rooting for them at this point. Jared Goff's a good guy as well.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it just
you've known I've always
Oh, no,
been
I
a
know.
Jared Goff guy.
it's cool to. I'm happy for the Lions, and I want to see them make the playoffs. So I take the Lions on this one. I think they can actually beat the Panthers pretty handedly.
I agree.
Knocking on wood there, so I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's even going to be a jinx for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Lions have this one in the bag. The Panthers have been playing good lately, especially with Darnold at QB.
Yeah.
But
They laid an egg against Pittsburgh, though.
yeah, they really did. But
Happens.
They're not a good team. So
yeah, you don't really expect much from them, and just how well the Lions have been playing lately, I think they have this in the bag easily. Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next game. Bengals at Patriots. Bengals favored by 3. I'm gonna have to ride with the Patriots on this one. Just for it's in Foxborough. It's gonna be cold. Ball doesn't come out as well when it's cold. And the Patriots defense and Bill Belichick with quarterbacks that are just young quarterbacks. For some reason, he just makes them uneasy. And I've seen Joe Burrow uneasy in games. He threw 3 picks on 4 passes against the Bears last year.
that did happen. I was at that game. That happened. That was nice.
And the
Ended
Patriots,
his non-interception streak.
the Patriots have had games this year where they've looked absolutely stellar on defense. So I'm like, I just think it's gonna be a good defensive game. Maybe only 1 or 2 touchdowns total in the game. So that 3-point spread, I could see it being a 3-point
all right.
game and just a push.
I'm gonna disagree with you
Andrew,
heavily here.
hit them with it. Who day?
Think gonna beat them Bengals.
Yep.
Okay, I was.
You-
It took a second.
You got there. You
My
got
mind
there.
just went to the Broncos junction. Let's ride because that's when you always put me on the spot. For so I was like, whoa. No, Nick, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Joe Burrow is him. It gets cold in Cincinnati, so I'm not giving the cold weather thing.
And they don't have an indoor practice facility.
Yeah, they play.
still.
They practice in that cold all week.
Northeast cold is different than regular Cincinnati cold.
Still, cold weather is cold weather. They were experienced in cold weather.
There's
I'm
going to
the-
be 6 games that have a wind chill below.
Oh, I know. And the
-10.
Bears game's going to be one of them,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But-
gonna be awful.
which is actually the next game we're going to talk about here. But still, Bengals, I just think they have too much on offense that New England isn't going to be able to stop every part of their game.
Did you see those laterals? If those laterals work, New England wins that game. They've been practicing.
They've been
Jacoby
working.
Myers to Mac Jones for a tutty this week. Gonna
It's
happen.
dude. Imagine if they break out a trick play to do that, though. That would be pretty dope. But I still think the Bengals are going to win this one pretty handedly. I just think their wide receiver room alone is just way
it's
too
insane.
good.
But I
Yeah.
don't think T. Higgins is playing. and Tyler Boyd was hurt last week, so
It doesn't matter.
It could
They're still
be
better.
just
I'm
Lamar.
taking the Bengals to cover this one pretty heavily.
I think so too. Patriots, just especially after last week.
Yeah, and the
I
Bengals,
don't
we got to
trust
remember, the Bengals are up there, top 3 team in the AFC right now.
Oh,
Yeah, they are.
Like, unquestioned. You can argue that, I would argue that they're better than the Bills. Personally, I would. The Bills'
I can see
offense
it.
is just
Yeah.
stagnant at the moment. It's pretty much the thing that's like about the Bills' offense, which we might as well roll into this game. So I'll save what I'm going to say, but Bobby and I are going Bengals. Nick,
I'm going
you're going
Patriots.
Patriots.
all right. Next game, Bills at Bears. Gonna be cold in the frozen tundra.
And our friend Ryan, who was just on the show, is going to be in attendance to that game.
Negative 11.
Dude,
Better be warm.
you better get some hot hands, man. That's going to be real
I've been to
cold.
one of those games.
It's not fun.
I was at one of those games where your drinks are freezing in your hand. I've been there.
Don't worry about a warm beer.
It's miserable. Tell you what, stock up on the hot chocolate. You're not going to be drinking beer at that game. You're going to be getting hot chocolate because it's going to keep your hands warm.
Yeah, true.
All right, but the Bills are favored by 8.5. I'm gonna roll with the Bills just because I think Josh Allen and that Bills receiving core is a little bit more, how do I say, dynamic in a way against how the Eagles were. I just think they have a more open playbook that can just cause more concern for that young secondary.
See, I'm going to disagree again. The Bills' offense has been actually pretty bad for the last
Oh no,
7
I'm not
weeks.
saying recently.
They had just in general. If I'm looking at outside, Gabe Davis doesn't scare me. Dawson Knox doesn't scare me. Those are 2 guys that I'm not worried about. Stephon Diggs is really the only guy on that team that I'm worried about. But we just watched our secondary go toe to toe with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. Also, this is going to be a freezing cold game.
Yeah.
You mentioned how that's going to affect the passing game for the Patriots game. It's going to be the same thing here. This is going to be one of those games where I feel
bazooka arm Josh.
well, yeah,
He was throwing against 40-mile-per-hour winds. You think a negative
yeah,
11 is gonna
imagine
affect-
trying to
difference
catch
is
that ball.
His hands are going
Oh,
to.
it doesn't matter. He can
this
burn
is-
hot.
this-
His hands can be red hot.
This game, because of how cold it's going to be, it's going to negate a lot of skill position stuff here. So it's going to negate a lot of the skill position stuff. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Justin Fields and a lot of Josh Allen on the move. If I had to pick a team I think has a better running game, I'm going with the Bears running game. I don't think the Bears are winning this game, but an 8.5 point spread and negative 11 and below, I just think that's a large spread for really, really harsh cold weather conditions. I think the Bears can cover that. And they got me
27-13. Calling it now.
okay.
Book it.
Book it.
Book it.
Lock
All right.
that in.
Lock
Take
that
it to the bank, guys. Pull it up.
Yeah,
I would put
I
57
agree
down
with you
on
there,
it.
and especially how well are the Bears held up against Philly.
Number 1 scoring offense
Yeah.
and number 1 defense.
Like how well your team held up against them. I think it's safe to say that they can handle an 8.5 point spread.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Is they put a lot of confidence in me, or I have a lot of confidence in them now. Not to win the game,
To
but I
cover
have-
spreads.
To cover the spread. To cover spreads like this, I think they showed that they're good enough to do it.
They're like the Falcons at the beginning of the year this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they
the Bears are just
cover the
they're
spread.
they're clicking enough to cover an 8.5 point spread, especially in really harsh conditions. So
When you
I'm
gotta-
going with the Bears on that one. Nick, I'm assuming you're having technical difficulties
Oh,
over there.
Of course I
So
am. I know
I'll-
the next one though. It's Texans
Okay.
at Titans. Titans are favored by 3.5, which I believe that is a farce. The Texans play two of the best teams, and they
The
cover this.
Texans
cover this
have looked
spread.
good in
I'm
2 straight
I'm not
weeks.
money lining this, but the Texans are going to win this game.
I
Against
was
Malik
about
Willis,
to say,
they're
I
gonna
think the Texans are finding themselves in the win column here because, like Nick just mentioned, Ryan Tannehill done for the season. Malik Willis coming in. Oh, I don't know what he is as a quarterback. He didn't look very good against the Chiefs, at least passing the ball. He looked obviously rattled. Rookie quarterback making his debut. It's going to happen, but there's just not enough receiving talent in Tennessee to help a young quarterback who's a developmental like quarterback such as Malik Willis. Ryan Tannehill is done with development, so he was able to like make plays because of his experience and everything. Weak wide receiving group, young rookie quarterback making his second start, not an ideal situation. Texans coming off 2 straight solid weeks, hanging in with the best of the best in the Chiefs, and a solid team, but a perennial choker in the Dallas Cowboys. Still good teams on paper. Hanging in there. I think the Texans might actually get in the win column here. So I'm rolling with the Texans. Not money line, but I'm rolling with them.
I just can't, on good faith, pick the Texans. I'm going Titans here.
The
I
way
think
you said it, man.
Another point for me against
Um,
me. 2
I'm-
weeks in a row.
I'm
I'm
gonna
the only
just,
one that's picked. You've finally
like,
joined me.
I have faith in Mike Vrabel to rally the troops and get himself a win here
Tell me
because
you don't
they
have faith in Lovey
They
Smith
can get a
and
win,
Ryan
but
they
Flores.
need to win.
this is going to be a close game, I
it
think.
will be a close game, but they're gonna pull it out.
So you're going Titans.
I'm going Titans.
Fair enough.
All right, Seahawks at Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 10. You know, I don't like the 10-point spread for the Chiefs.
I'm not a fan of it either.
The Chiefs struggled against the Texans, and now you're going to tell me the Seahawks. Geno Smith has been regressing back to what we expected since he kind of had that hot
he-
flash.
He might need to start writing back.
At this point, I think he's starting to write us back. All right.
So I'm going with just to cover. This very well could be an exact 10-point win, but I'm thinking 10 points or less, which means at that point,
No, fair
covering.
enough. The Seahawks, it depends on if their running game gets going. If the running game doesn't get going, this game won't be close.
Yeah.
Because to beat the Chiefs, if you're the Seahawks specifically, and really just in general, to beat the Chiefs, you have to control the time of possession. You have to control the ball. And the best way to do that is with a running game. You know, the Chiefs are just too good of an offense. They can score quick. So you need to give them as minimal opportunities as possible to score. 10-point spread. I don't like these kinds of spreads, but Seahawks have been regressing a lot. I think the book is kind of out on how to negate their offense a little bit.
Yeah.
Kansas City's expecting below zero temperatures as well. That's one of the games. So I'm rolling with Kansas City. I think they'll win by like 13-ish points.
I think so too. The Seahawks, they were playing great in the beginning of the season, but
It was
I think
a great story.
Yeah, I
but-
think they're starting to come back down, and the Chiefs are just that good.
Yeah, Chiefs just that good. I
Those
mean,
guys.
Seahawks, eventually you're back to what the talent you have, and that's coming back down to earth.
You're still
Yeah.
getting a really good pick from the
Yeah, no, they're
Broncos,
still
and
looking
you're
at a
getting your own
top
pick.
5 pick in their own pick. So they're Seahawks. This is a win season for the
Yeah,
Seahawks
they
by
are.
all means.
Like they could make the playoffs.
By all accounts, this is a win for them.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Falcons at Ravens. Ravens favored by 7.5. Another game that's going to be below freezing. I'm going to go with the Falcons. Lamar Jackson's been out this week so far, so it's still undecided if he's going to play or not. To me, they did not look good last week, and
No, they
the
did
Falcons have Desmond Ridder playing again. He looked okay against New England. Bill Belichick
New
usually-
Orleans Saints. He
Was
played
this-
the Saints last week.
I thought it
Yeah,
was oh, yeah, that's right. It was
it's okay. It's an
Raiders.
easy mistake. New England, New Orleans. I'm backing you up, Nick. I got
Yeah.
your back. Don't worry.
Okay, but
There's
yeah,
new
so
in it.
but Desmond Ridder did okay against a pretty good defense.
Yeah,
The Ravens defense isn't great, so 7.5 points. I don't think they're gonna win, but 7.5
Yeah,
points.
7.5.
cover.
Desmond Ritter was a so-so game. I think he was 13 of 26 for like 98 yards or something.
Yeah,
Which
He was rattled.
like your third round, what was he, a third round draft pick, right? Third
Yeah,
or fourth
he
round
is.
draft pick. Making your NFL debut against a very good defense in the Saints. My expectations were very low. He didn't wow you, but he didn't turn the ball over. So there's that.
if Mariota played that game, I think they would have won.
Maybe. But Mariota just up and left the Falcons. He's
Yeah,
not
he
even on
did.
the team anymore.
Yeah, he did.
He just walked away.
He's
Whatever.
Deuces.
He said
He got his knee surgery, had a kid.
Yeah, but my thing is 7.5 points is big spread. Ravens have been looking weird lately. I don't think the Falcons are winning the game, but I think they can cover 7.5 points. I do. So I'm taking Falcons.
Give me the Ravens. Lamar's coming back this week.
All right.
No stuff we don't. All right. Commies at 49ers. 49ers favored by 7. This game's definitely not going to be below freezing because it's in San Francisco. But I'm gonna
It
roll
doesn't
with
get cold in the Bay Area?
a little bit, but not below freezing. If it ever got below freezing, I'd be a little concerned.
It's be like the day after tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah,
that
for
movie
real.
is.
But yeah, I'm gonna roll with the commies. Taylor Heineke, it's people want to play behind him. People want to play behind Brian Robinson.
Yeah,
Terry
I-
McLaurin is still that guy.
Yeah, Scary Terry is still legit. I'm right there with you, Nick. I'm rolling with the commies to cover. I'm not saying they're winning the game, but the team just has some kind of juice when Taylor Heineke plays. They find ways to keep it close. The big thing is their defense needs to step up, actually, because
Which they have been for the
well,
most
they,
part.
they made it too easy on the Giants last week. The Giants moved the ball with ease when they really shouldn't have, considering not a great O-line and like no one to write home about at wide receiver. So the defense needs to step up this week. especially 49ers are just such a well-run, oiled machine there on offense. Like it's an uphill battle, but I think you can cover 7 points. I think they've got it in them to cover 7 points. Good luck. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I could see like a 6-point loss.
Yeah, I'm riding 49ers here. They're just too good, man.
You're on the Brock train.
I'm riding that Brock train. They're just too good, and like they're
just locked in.
Yeah, they're just
locked
focused.
in. I get it.
They got the division locked down, and I think they're going to beat the Commies by more than 7 points.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Moving into the next game, Eagles at Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 4.5. Jalen Hurts, broken collarbone, undecided if he's going to play. I think there's no way he plays this game.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're just holding out so that the Cowboys game plan for a more mobile quarterback. But I'm pretty sure Minshew is going to get the start.
Minshew, I think, is going to get the start. Hell, I would start Minshew personally. I'm not risking a Jalen Hurts injury.
Yeah.
You got too much on the line for you to trot him out there against Micah Parsons, which Cowboys defense has looked beatable the past couple weeks. I mean, the Texans and then the Jaguars really gave it to him. So, it's not going to be a blowout either way, but I do feel comfortable with the Cowboys here, assuming Jalen Hurts. I'm going to preface, if Jalen Hurts starts, anything's on the table. I'm not as confident in the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys probably lose if Jalen Hurts starts, to be honest. But Minshew's going to start. He hasn't played in a while. Less mobile, less of a dual threat quarterback, still respectable, but I like the Cowboys if in that matchup more. So I'll take the Cowboys.
Minshew mania. Give me them Eagles.
I had the Cowboys. I am actually on the opposite side of you. If Jalen Hurts plays, I'm more confident the Cowboys will win. Not that Jalen Hurts is worse. It's just I don't think he is healthy enough to play.
Yeah, well, I'm prefacing that on the assuming like he is healthy enough to play.
It's
like
a broken collarbone. I don't think that gets fixed in a week.
Fair enough. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't know what they got up there in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they might.
You'd think they would have used that in Carson Wentz, but I don't know. Maybe I was wrong.
Maybe you're wrong. Who knows?
Maybe it's new technology.
No, I get your logic there. That's a fair point as well. Either way, I'm going to roll with the Cowboys. I just think the matchup's setting up for them with injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
Either way.
Last game of the Saturday night slate: Raiders at Steelers. Steelers favored by 2.5. I'm going Raiders money line. The Steelers have been disappointing. I mean, for sure for Mills, you picked them to win the division. So
yeah, they let me down hard.
They're definitely not doing that.
They let me down hard. I really bought
Mitch
it on March. On Mitch. He let me down.
Pick
I gave him
Trubisky
too much credit.
And Kenny throws a lot of Pickett. Not great quarterbacks. Najee Harris, what happened? Where have you been?
Najee Harris coming back now, man.
I know, but still, he's still not.
Too much time has passed.
Yeah.
And then Chase Claypool being gone. It's the Deontay Johnson show and Pat Fryermuth. And
Yeah.
when you start putting all those pieces together, you're like, yeah, they're not as dynamic as they should be, but they're still underperforming.
Yeah, they're just not clicking right now. They did have a good win over the Carolina Panthers, so I'll give them that. But the Carolina Panthers aren't a good team.
No.
But, the Raiders aren't particularly great either. But the Raiders are just, on paper, should be solid.
And Darren Waller coming back again for the second week.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna roll with the Raiders. I think they're riding high off of what they just pulled off this past weekend.
Insane
Chandler
game.
Jones is ready.
Yeah, he's
more
ready.
tutties.
I think the Raiders will pull this one out.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers here.
You're just picking against us and everything here.
I'm fine
no,
with that.
I feel
I'll make
confident
up these
in the
5
Steelers.
points.
This could be very good for you, Nick. We're
Early
very
Christmas
bad.
present that Bobby's giving me is I'm going to be +5 before Saturday ends.
The
No,
Steelers.
I have a lot of the same picks. You can't say that. Don't jinx it. Knock on the wood. Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
Steelers have a good defense. I think they could shut down the Raiders and have a serviceable offense that will get them more points.
Okay, we'll see.
Sure. All right, moving into the Sunday slate, 3 games only. Hopefully we get a Christmas present of a Packers loss early in the day. Packers at Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 3.5. Dolphins.
Yeah,
Dolphins
give me the
have that
Dolphins.
home field advantage. It's going to be way hot on that Green Bay sideline.
In
They're
Miami,
wearing dark green.
in Miami, Green Bay's not all that. 3.5 points is a small spread. I think the Dolphins are too prolific on offense. Back in their territory, they can get this one done, I think, relatively easy. So I'll go Dolphins.
Give me the Packers cover.
All right.
The Dolphins almost beat the Bills in a snow game in New York, and then you're going to just be like, well, yeah, back in their home state where there's going to be not a drop of snow on the ground. They're just going to struggle.
Yeah,
against the
they
Packers.
wish it
Bobby,
was.
just say you're picking against us.
They wish it was colder. Also, the Packers had a pretty good game against the Rams.
Yeah, it's not hard to have a good game against a team that's never played in that temperature before.
I bet the Rams to beat them, and Baker Mayfield just completely let me down.
Yeah, well,
He's only been on the team for 9 days.
Well, he had an amazing game when he was on the team for 2 days. So you
against the
think,
Raiders.
well,
The Raiders suck.
regardless.
Well, speaking of the Rams, we can move into the next game. Broncos at Rams. Broncos favored by 2.5. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. What Bobby just said, Packers beat the Rams. The Rams struggled. It's gonna be cold. Or no, it's not
Well,
gonna
it's
be
in
cold.
LA.
I thought it was in Denver. Denver's gonna be really cold this weekend, so I thought it was in Denver. It's not. But Russell Wilson is making his comeback. He will pass his bathroom total this week for sure.
I don't think he does.
He
think he
needs to.
I think he lays an egg this week. I really do. I feel like this is going to be a terrible game all through. And through, this game I expect to suck. I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams are going to win this one in LA, get them out of that cold. Baker Mayfield will now be on 16 days with the team, which is a little bit better. Why not? Screw it. They're both bad teams. I'll go with the Rams.
The Russ bus is moving.
Apparently, it's slowing down.
Yeah.
They're downhill. They're going downhill now.
Yeah.
On the bus though, so it's moving.
Give me the Rams money line. I think they're gonna win it. And honestly, I think Russ is gonna lay a goose egg till the last
just said that.
week of the season. That's when he's gonna get his total. It's gonna take him all 18 weeks.
You know what? I really hope it's a 2-point win for the Broncos. That's what I'm hoping for now.
Yeah, I take that. That would feel good for me. I like that one.
All right, moving into the last game on Sunday. Buccaneers at Cardinals. Bucks favored by 7.5. I can't roll with the Bucks right now.
I can't either.
I mean, I don't think Kyler Murray's playing.
No, he's tore his ACL.
Yeah, dude,
that's
it's gone
right.
for the season.
They got Colt. They're rolling with Colt McCoy out there.
Colt McCoy's out, but
Hey, he's
just
questionable.
remember that if
Trace
Colt McCoy's
McSorley.
It might be Trace
If Trace
McSorley.
McSorley is in, I would for sure. I would money line the crap out of this. Just kidding.
Throw it on a dime.
The Raiders
No,
are for sure.
I'm taking the Nick. You really emphasized the I in Cardinals there. I don't know if you heard
Cardinals.
something. You said Cardinals.
Cardinals.
The Cardinals. I'm rolling with the Cardinals as well. I'm not picking them to win, but
No, they'll cover that.
they'll cover 7.5. I'm pretty confident. Brady has looked terrible. It's just the Cardinals have enough to cover a 7.5 point spread. This is going to be another dud game all through and through, in my opinion.
I think so.
Yeah,
But
watch the Packers.
I like
and
the Cardinals to
Dolphins,
cover.
and then get off that sport and go watch basketball, or just don't watch any sports.
Yeah.
I got to go with Bucks. Hard Knocks following the Cardinals, and it's just
How much Call of Duty's going down in that locker room?
dude, it's just a terrible. They're just the wheels are falling off. Like just all around, that team just looks terrible, and like
There's
can't
no
bet on-
culture there anymore.
They have no wheels on their bus. It's just skirting to a halt.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
they need a steep hill to really get moving with
Yeah.
no wheels. They're like the Canadian wheels in South Park, just squid. Just I'm still taking the Cardinals though.
All right, then moving into Monday Night Football. Chargers at Colts. Chargers favored by 4.5. Give me the Chargers.
Give me J Herb. I'm in.
Yep,
Herbert.
Chargers.
And the Colts lost. They had a 33-point lead, and they lost. I don't know if they're going to go up 33-0 against the Chargers, and I can see them giving up a lot of points to that offense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm liking I like what you're getting out of Herbert and the Chargers here against
Mike
the Colts.
Williams.
Mike
been
Williams.
healthy.
So lock it in.
Keenan Allen
This
staying
one I think
healthy.
is a pretty safe one.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest
like a
with you.
lock.
This one, in my opinion, the Bengals are the two safest picks of the week. Lock it in. It's a money shot, guys.
And
So much.
Bears to cover. And Bears to cover. That is a lock.
There's your parlay for the weekend. You're in. You are in, guys.
I think one of
You know
those
what?
three. are gonna hit.
Merry Christmas for that. That's our Christmas present to the viewers, right there.
we have
I
a
do not
no
support this.
we have a no sweat plus 10,000 parlay coming your way, guys.
Yep.
Easiest.
Plus 10,000. That's the odds.
I know.
That's not going to
No,
add
it's
up
no-
to 10,000.
It's no sweat, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah, no
about it.
sweat, man.
No sweat. Easy.
not what that
The the safest and biggest payout of your life coming.
Don't sweat. Don't sweat the math. That's not going to add up. Gosh, I hate that you just said that. End the week. End it.
End the week. All right, fine. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week for more picks and tune into our latest episode as well, guys, all on YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So tune in, guys. Thanks for listening.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
guys. Gosh, now all the Jews are going to hate us.